So you're going to be researching the New Deal program that you're going to be assigned. So I have a slide that has the numbers, and then you'll just pick a number out of the bag, and that's what New Deal program you will have. So once you know your New Deal program, then you are going to research it. And then we're going to go on Haiku, and you're going to create 2 tweets. But these 2 tweets are going to consist of the purpose of your assigned agency or program, and then also what was detrimental about it. So along with the worksheets, you're going to, as you're filling yours, as you're doing your research, you'll fill out your program. And then once you're going through and looking at your classmates' programs, you will also fill it out. So as you're going through that worksheet I just handed out, it has a list of all 28 of the programs that we're going to go through. So you will go through each of your classmates and tweets and decide if it's first or second, relief, recovery, reform. You'll write down its purpose, and then you're also going to talk about what the supporters and the critics thought about it. So besides just researching your program, you're also researching what supporters and critics thought about the New Deal and their programs. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So when you get on Haiku, I will go on it and show you in just a sec, but you're going to go to the New Deal Alphabet Soup Twitter page. It will be on your weekly schedule. It's a wiki project. And then in the left column, you're going to click on New Page. The title of the page is going to be the name of your New Deal program. Then you'll click on Add Content Block and then click On Page Text. And this is where you're going to create your tweet at. So you will just write your tweet 140 characters or less. Use tags, use hashtags, and you're just going to create it right there. So the first tweet, again, is going to be about your program's intended power. The second is your program's detrimental side. And so when you name your content block, specify which one it is, if it's the intended power or the detrimental side. So then after you do your 2 tweets on your own program, you are going to comment on 2 other classmates' tweets. So one of your classmates, you're going to comment as a supporter. This is why you're researching the supporters and critics. And then the other, you're going to comment as a critic. So once you create your pages, how this is going to work, so we're going to keep it even. If you're at the top of the page, the first person directly beneath your page, you're going to comment as a supporter, and then 2 people down, you're going to comment as a critic. Yes, she's right there. Okay, so first person directly beneath you, you're commenting as a supporter. 2 people beneath you, you're commenting as a critic. So if you're at the very bottom, you're going to comment on the first 2 people, and then if you're at the second to bottom, you'll comment on the bottom person and then the top. So I'll explain that as we're moving forward. Based on where your page is. So once everyone creates their page. I also put this PowerPoint on the wiki page so you guys can go through the directions again in case you get confused. So as you're researching your New Deal program, make sure you're filling out your sheet, and then as you're looking through your classmates, make sure you're also filling those out so we know what those are.
Then you draw a number. How do we know which one it is? So you draw a number. And I just want to look up. I hope I
All right, so now you'll be assigned your program. So based on the number you pull out of the bag, look up which program you are on the board, and that's the one that you're researching. Make sure you write it down. Okay, so now this is what you're going to do. So right here, right on the weekly schedule, it's right here. You're going to click View Project. So here are the directions. Here's what you need to do. And here is these directions as well. And if you forgot your number, go all the way to the last slide. It's right there. So I see some people already added theirs, perfect. So you want to go to add page. Then you're going to click in the new page block, you're going to write right here the name of your program. And then just have it save at the bottom. So then here's the example. So I did the National Housing Act as an example. So here we have the intended power. I said at National Housing Act of 1934, without you there'd be no interest in long-term loans that help me get a house. You the real MVP. Hashtag no more foreclosures. Hashtag it's lit. Hashtag that's the tea. Okay, so what do we think that this one is about? Do we think that's relief, recovery, or reform? Does anyone have a guess what that one is? Yes, reform. Right? So they reformed the laws, so now there is low interest terms, and it makes it easier for people to get housing.
Are we supposed to put whether it's recovery, reform, or relief?
When you're going through people's, you're going to circle. You should kind of hint towards it in your tweet.
Okay.
So if your tweet is talking about what's the intended power, you should be able to figure out if it's relief, recovery, reform based on that.
Okay.
So then for the detrimental side, I said again at National Housing Act of 1934, you are only making home ownership tangible for white citizens. It's not right to refuse to back loans for black citizens. I don't think I put that right, but. And then I put hashtag, I'll keep on whining till there's no more redlining. So do we know what redlining is? Basically, this act made it harder for people, for African Americans to get loans. They just denied African American loans. And it also people living on the border or in African American, what's the word? And like areas where African Americans lived, it was harder to get homes and sell their houses. And so that was the detrimental side for this program, is that it was only making it available for white citizens to get loans. So that's what it should look like. One tweet explaining basically what your program is, what it's intended to do, and then the detrimental side. So this is what you're going to research. And then I added 2 comments. So I put a S to show that it's a supporter and a C to show that it is a critic. So thanks to the National Housing Act, there's no need to be scared of losing our houses again. And then the critic said that this National Housing Act is far too much government overreach. Hashtag laissez-faire over everything.